Oh, okay.
I'm gonna make you eat. Are you hungry? Hey everybody, happy Sunday. We are live. I'm live from the woods of South Carolina. I have a very special guest with me today, the beautiful, lovely, and talented Miss Joyce Butler from Faith to Victory.
Yeah, you got it.
I think I mess it up every time because I did for so long. But yeah, we have Joyce with us today, and we're just going to hang out, have a little chat, and yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing conversation. We got a great show for you today. But let's get into the comments here and just say a quick hello, and then we're going to have Joyce tell us all a little bit about her channel and what she's got going on in her life. So we have Miss, can you see the comments, Joyce?
Yeah, on this side, yes.
Fantastic. Okay. Hello, Denise. How you doing? All the way from Tejas. We have Christine Cooper from New Zealand. Hello. Barry Butler. That dude looks familiar. We met him the other day. And we've got Kel. Hey, Kel, how are you? And hey, Carnivore Quest Larry is in the house. Peachy Pam. Hello, Peachy Pam. Tracy. Mama Mac. BB Moose. Mrs. Donahue. Terry, I hope you're having a good Sunday. I hope you're having a better day, a better evening, because I know you weren't all that happy this morning. So, hey, everybody, how we doing today? I hope y'all are doing great. I'm doing great. I got Joyce in front of me. So, hello, Jasmine from Ohio. All right. I'd like to just give Miss Joyce the floor. And Joyce, if you wouldn't mind telling everybody a little bit about yourself, about your channel, how your journey got started, and I would appreciate that. So whenever you're ready, my love.
All right, my name is Joyce Butler. I'm from Florida. I started carnivore. Well, I started with keto back in May of 2019. I was just believing God for something to help me with my weight loss. I've been through everything, Weight Watchers, pills, calorie counting, you name it. And I was just getting so frustrated. And of course, I suffered with depression for years, especially after me and my husband, we did in vitro and we lost all 5 babies. So I was at my lowest, and I was like, God, I need something. And I went to work the next day, and I was telling somebody my story that I really need to lose weight. She's like, well, I've been doing keto. So I went online and I typed in keto, and I found Watch Autumn Keto. And I started watching her. And the very first one was 4 tips. I don't remember all the tips except for one. It was give it 90 days. So I started the 90 days, and then the next week I went and talked to her again. I'm like, yeah, I started, I lost 6 pounds. And she's like, well, technically I do carnivore. So I went back online and did carnivore and found Dr. Ken Berry. So I did, I was like all in. I did carnivore, and about a month later, I was like, me and my husband went to, what was it? A restaurant. It was like Chipotle's, and I had got a meatball. I'm like, oh, just add some lettuce. I ate that lettuce, and I remember feeling so bloated, my stomach, and I was like, I wonder if that's why I was always, I forget why, but it was like something just wasn't right. So after that, I went all carnivore, and I lost 90 pounds, and I'm not looking back.
So how long did it take you to lose the 90 pounds?
From March, no, not March. I get the March and May. It is May, from May 20th to October, the end of October.
Okay. And that was of 19?
Yes,
Okay.
2019.
90 pounds. That's nothing to sneeze at, Joyce.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. So then, so what made you decide to start a channel? How long has your channel been going?
It's 5 or 6 months. So here, Barry has the TV on. I need to let Barry. Can you turn down the TV, hon? He's watching. That's better. So I wanted to be an inspiration to people. I didn't have much of that growing up, and I knew I wanted it to be about my weight loss. I'm going to be starting a new business, and I just want to inspire people and for them not to give up, because after I lost the 90 pounds, that was right
Wait,
before.
hold on, Joyce. See what I was telling you about earlier? So you cut off at I'm going to be starting a new business, and then you were out for about 5 to 10 seconds. So we missed some crucial information. So if you wouldn't mind starting that over again.
So I wanted to start a new business, and I wanted it all to be together, losing weight, starting a new business, just inspiring people. Because growing up, I was in a special ed class, and I was told you're not going to amount to nothing. You're just, don't be surprised if, you'll be flipping burgers the rest of your life. And I let that dwell in me for a long time. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna rock this. And I let those words just dominate, and I'm not going to do that no more. So I wanted to start the channel to inspire people to lose weight, to encourage people not to give up if you've gone through something, to just keep on going.
Well, awesome. Awesome. So what kind of business are we starting, or are you starting?
I want to do t-shirts, inspirational t-shirts, Christian t-shirts. And I'm not sure what else. I want to do
prints like that up there, maybe.
Yes. So
Joyce, we had our event on Friday, and we were so blessed to have Joyce and her husband Barry with us. And as soon as I saw her, she handed me this, and it says Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper. My God, that is who you are. And I told her, I said, oh my gosh, that is so amazing, because I do know that song, but the last couple of weeks I've been playing it while, I'm cleaning or getting ready, and I just really have been getting into that song. So how fitting that she brought that. So that's you made that out of from a cricket?
Yes.
I bet that's a lot of work. I've seen how it works, and you need like a needle to get all the letters out, and then you have to place it on there just so. How long did that take you to make?
About 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it would probably take me at least double that. You're probably very well versed with doing that. You know exactly how to grab it and get that little needle. I saw that. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know if I have that kind of patience. But it's beautiful, and I love it.
Thank you
so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so we went. You and your husband drove up from the event. It was what, a 8.5 hour drive for you?
Yes.
Yeah, we had such a good time that day, didn't we?
It was amazing.
Oh my gosh, I enjoyed each and every interaction that I had, and finally getting to meet you. I mean, we've talked so much. I've seen your videos, you've seen mine, and we've
Yes.
never talked face to face. I mean, I knew what your voice was like, but we've
Yeah.
never had that interaction. So it was so cool to
Yeah.
hug you and just to get to know you, and you helped me set up and clean
Yes.
up. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But that was an amazing time. I'll tell you, I wish I could do it like once a month. That's a
Yeah.
lot of work though. Oh my gosh, no guys, it will not happen. But it was awesome. It was such an awesome time with the fellowship and just like I said, getting to know people and and there were so many other YouTubers too. I mean,
Yes.
there was like 7 of us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was so cool, so cool. And just the fact that you guys came up, you took time out of your schedule and you drove the distance and
Yeah.
that's not a short haul. Like here we go. We got Miss Connie saying hi. Connie, she was just like 25-30 minutes away, the gorgeous, lovely and talented Miss Connie. And I love that woman so much. And yeah, it was just it was cool. But yeah, so you lost 90 pounds.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna pull up some pictures, some before and after pictures. Let me see. Just give me a moment. There we are. So when was this picture taken, Joyce?
Uh, um, 5 years ago,
Yeah. And how much did you weigh then?
I was around 290 at
Yeah.
that point.
That was your highest weight?
My highest was 306.4, and
Okay, probably
that
this
was
picture here.
yes.
My goodness. Look at the difference, guys. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Wow, I love that jacket. Oh, Miss Joyce. What a difference. And you just have to feel so much better,
Oh yeah,
in every way, shape, or form. You were talking about depression and you had been knocked down,
yeah,
most of your life and fed negativity and it's you I would have never known it because when I met you, you were a ray of sunshine and you don't come off as that way. I mean, let me throw up this picture. Yay.
yay!
Here we were. Oh, Miss Joyce.
Oh,
Yeah. I can't wait to see you again. I really wish I would have had time while I was in Florida to stop by and visit you.
yeah.
Holly, my daughter, she ran a pretty tight schedule. She had an itinerary and
Yeah.
like, we're doing this on this day, this on that day. I'm telling you, I've never had a more busy vacation than I did that. I'm like, we need one day. And the
Yeah.
last day of our vacation, we didn't even do anything. We had tickets to do some things. I'm like, no, I can't. My body's just done.
Yeah.
It's just done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so your channel, let's talk a little bit about your channel. It's been going for how long now?
I
6
think
months?
yeah, 6 months, going on 6 months.
Okay. And I know that you have scripture of the day or inspirational quote,
Inspirational quote, yes. I
inspirational
just
quotes.
yeah, I have a jar here and I just pull it out and whatever it is, it is. And I have like 3 of my favorite quotes that I kind of have set aside because they mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
So
Will you pull one for the show today?
well, I have 3 laying here that are my favorite.
Well, then let's lay it on us, Mama.
The
Let's see
first
what
one
you got.
is, it's not a race, it's a journey. Meaning, it can't just run through life. I didn't put this weight on overnight, and now
That's right.
it's a journey. And I just have to remember that through all this time of trying to lose weight, I've learned a lot about myself. And that's just part of my journey. I always say everyone has a story,
Yeah.
and this is part of my story.
So if you think about that, like you can almost think about like if you're traveling in an airplane, you're moving very quickly You miss so much that's on the ground. Now, if you're traveling in a car, you're traveling much slower. You get to see the trees. Now you start on foot, right? Or a bicycle ride. Then you get
Yeah.
to see the flowers. And now you're on foot and you're taking a walk
Yeah.
and you get to see all the little details. So
Yeah.
you miss out on so much if
Yeah.
you're just always in a hurry.
Yeah.
That's where the expression, I guess you could say, stop and smell the roses,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
you're going to miss all that if you're just like, I
Mhm.
just want to hurry up and lose this weight. Well,
Yeah.
you're missing out on so much because we learn every single day,
Yeah.
and we can give our experiences to others,
Yeah.
who are just starting new. But if we're just constantly focusing on getting there and not enjoying
Yeah.
the experience, because really we have to celebrate our small victories too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because they build up. It's like stacking paper with that. Every little victory, before you know it, you got a stack this thick, starting one piece of paper at a time.
And the Lord gave me a nugget a while back. It said, "Why run through life when you can walk and enjoy all God has for you?"
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, especially if you sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
You take a breather and then you can take it all in. All right, let's have another one.
It says, "To change your body, you must first change your mind."
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've dealt with is all those negativity over the year of you're not going to amount to anything, you're in a stupid ed class, so you're always going to be dumb. I had to change that mindset about me, because that's one of the reasons why I gained the weight, is because I was bullied all the time. So food was my friend.
Yeah.
So I've had to change my mindset and be like, I can do this.
And that's hard for a lot of people to do, Joyce. Reverse all of that negativity that's come into their lives. And yes, absolutely, almost everybody turns to sort of substance, whether it's food or drugs or
Yeah.
alcohol, or for relief. I think all of us have been bullied in some way, shape, or form at
Yeah.
some point. And when it's constant like that, I mean, that's what you know. You're
Yeah.
just being indoctrinated, and that's what you're going to believe eventually.
Yes.
You're going to believe that. And you're going to think all those negative words that have been said to you. Yeah. So, how about another one?
All right.
All right.
The life in front of you is way more important than the life behind you. And I think this is my number one, because I've had to leave the past behind, the hurt of being bullied, the hurt of losing my babies. That was a big one. That's when I bloomed way up to 306 pounds, was after the loss of my babies. Even though I still mourn that, I still have to leave it behind and go on with my life, knowing that I will see my babies one day in heaven. But I had to leave that behind for me to grow and to continue this journey, finding, finding the healthy me and doing what's right for my body.
And think about it too. What lies ahead it's all an unknown. And that's so exciting, right? Because we know exactly what happened in the past, and there were some good things, and we learned from it. And there were a lot of mistakes, and we also learned from that too.
Yeah.
We take that all with us, everything that we need, and we can leave the rest behind. But what lies ahead of us is exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting to me. The unknown. It's like, okay, what do we have in store today? What's going to happen today? You just don't know. Each and every day is a new day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love those. And I love the fact that you do that. It helps you, and I know it helps others. And y'all go find Miss Joyce's channel, and
Yes.
she'll have an inspirational quote. She'll make some type of a beautiful piece of art, or I don't know. Do you do t-shirts on there too, or is it
I
just
will. Well, that's going to be something that I'm working towards. I've done one picture on it once when I got the heat press, but every Friday is supposed to be Faith to Victory apparel, or that I do some type of art. So
That's really cool. That's something, like I said, well, it was probably a year or so ago. I had talked about picking up a printing press, and getting the Cricut. And I told Larry, I said, excuse me, I said, yeah, we'll make our own t-shirts. He's like, do you have any idea how much work would be? And then you got to make sure that we can take care of payment. I mean, we had no idea, but I wanted to. And that doesn't mean that I won't get it, because I think that's something that I would enjoy. I love to create things.
yeah.
But that's something, it's like, that's a whole new area. It's a little bit scary, and it's a little bit pricey. Buying all the equipment, right? I mean, do you have a fairly large Cricut, or just like a medium sized one? Because I know they come in
Medium.
different sizes. Medium.
Yeah, medium.
And is it the Cricut press, or did you get something a little bit different?
No, a heat press.
Okay.
So I can do big items, little items. I can do mugs.
Okay.
So
you've got the mug press too. See,
yep.
that's something I looked into, and I did a guesstimate. It's like to get us up and running. I was like, oh, okay. And not to mention the time after seeing how it was done with the needle and pulling it away. I was like, oh my gosh, it'll take me an hour to do just one project.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead. Let's get into some comments here and see if we have any interesting conversation going on. If anybody, we got somebody from Ocala, Florida. Is that near you?
About 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Hey, you never know. Meet halfway. Meet for have some type of a Florida meetup. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, then you got somebody in your area. Meet up at a local park, and like I've had a couple times. Well, in July mainly. I met some of the ladies in the area, Miss Connie being one of them, and we'd go for walks, and then it got too hot. Like, never again will we do a walking video in July or walking challenge. I'm like, yeah, September seems about right. Maybe even October. But yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah. So there you go.
For me, it'd be January, February.
Right. Is that when it finally cools off? And what are you talking? Maybe 60s, 50s?
Yeah, the last
in January and February,
something like that.
How cool does it get?
30s.
I lost her.
It was like in the 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot colder than I thought. I thought maybe I don't know. I thought maybe it wouldn't get much colder than, so you get frost and all that then. Mm-hmm. Must be a pretty nice break. What does it last, like 6 days?
Yeah.
Probably not very long.
Not long. It's gone.
Right. What's up, Lady T? You aren't late. You are right on time, girl. You showed up. You are right on time. All right. Kel has something. Kel says, my daughter is in special ed. If I found someone talked to her like that, I would probably forget that I'm a Christian for a few seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like nowadays people are just, I mean, they've always been mean. Like, even my dad tells me, he was bullied quite a bit. I mean, they grew up dirt poor. After his mother passed away, his dad wasn't a very good father figure. Okay. And they didn't have a lot of money, but he had money for alcohol. Right.
Yeah.
So, but my dad ended up wearing like some of his sister's hand-me-downs, and they would have to, get changed in the locker room. He says he was bullied relentlessly. I feel bad for him. And so they were always there. It's just nowadays kids are just so nasty. Nasty. And they keep getting worse. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's no escape from it now with social media.
Yeah.
What do we got? Christine says, that's great, Joyce. I must remember that. The life before me. Yeah, talking about your quote.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Exciting times, Christine. I mean, we just don't know what the future holds for us. And Mike, hey Mike, how are you? He's got a little scripture for us. He said that's Philippians 3:13. Dig
Mhm.
it. I dig it. Here we go. Oh, Mrs. Donahue, Terry. Did you know that Terry has a cricket as well? Do you ever talk about the cricket in group? And then Canada, I do cricket things too. I have similar aspirations as Joyce.
Oh,
Well,
awesome.
check out her channel because she does it on her channel. Frigno Freedom is in Ocala. Did you know that? I did
Yes,
not.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Meet up with
Here's-
him. That'd be great.
Yeah, there's your Florida meetup, roasted iguana. Yeah, those little suckers are everywhere.
At
Oh my
least down
god.
to Miami, but we just have the little lizards up
Oh,
here.
okay. Well, I think that's what I saw were a lot of those tiny little lizards. I mean, I swear he was like just a tiny baby. I was like, oh, look at the size of that little dude. Let's see. In the 30s, the iguanas start dropping out of the tree. Oh yeah, I've seen that, and they freeze, don't they? But then
It's,
they come right back to life as soon as
yeah, thaws
soon
out.
as-
Yeah,
that's insane.
yeah.
I did see that. That just this past winter, I think it was, and I was just blown away. All right, we got a question here. Besides prayer, which is the most helpful and awesome? What was some of the ways that you have learned to deal with your negative emotions rather than resulting to food? Go ahead and take that, Joyce.
Pretty much, just I go to scripture, or I remember the inspirational quotes, because I go through my phone and I just find them, and it's like whatever resonates with me at the time. I just I type it even into Pinterest. I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with, like, for instance, I struggle a lot during the time that I knew that I had the miscarriages, or my dad, he passed away suddenly from cancer. Those key dates, this last year, I was able to be like, look to the good times that we had. But usually it's the inspirational quotes and, like, in scripture. That's, you know, and pray, that's the key.
It
And
really is.
just like, God, help me through this, because we all have different stories. We all have different things that um, trigger things, and you have to just go to God.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something that I always say, and I find sometimes it's hard to do that.
Mm.
And I all too often, and even today, Larry and I were talking about this. There are some things that I just need to let go and let God. I have a hard time letting go of things. I have a hard time of letting things and letting people live in my head rent free. I
Mhm.
do. I have a hard time letting go of that. And I pray on it. I
Yeah.
do. And I don't know that maybe there's got to be something else. And obviously, I don't go to food anymore.
Yeah.
So I let the negative emotions, sometimes they fester.
Mm.
And that's not good for anybody. And we talked about that too. It's like we got to learn to let it go.
Yeah, like for people, I've come to realize, like like the bullies,
Yeah.
they have a story why they were bullying me.
Hmm.
Why were they going through something and they just took it out on me? So I look at, okay, what is their story? Are they struggling with something? And then it's like, God says, they're my children too. Pray for them.
Yeah.
Even though they've hurt you, pray for them.
Yeah. All too often. I mean, that there is a pretty sad backstory for the bullies. They're either not getting attention or they're being bullied at home. Or, I mean, that there's something for it, or
Yeah.
there's a reason, I don't think that many of them just poof wake up and they're just jerks, they're taking out their anger and their frustration on
Yeah,
you. And some maybe it's just ego, but I think some of them they're experiencing tragedy too, and they're just not going to tell you about it.
exactly.
But we met this beautiful lady,
Yes.
Marita, Miss Deeparia, her and her
Yeah.
lovely husband. They were there at the meet and greet. How are you?
Over on the other side of Florida, about 2 hours away from us.
Okay, right on. We got Paul from Temple, Texas. Hello, Paul. How you doing today? Victory, Denise. Oh, they're having a conversation, but that's okay. She says, I'm not dealing with it either. I don't know what they're not dealing with, but not dealing with anything. I just joined a support group. My guess would be bullies. That's
Hmm.
seems to be the theme here, but yeah, absolutely. And Miss Connie says there is power in prayer for sure. And that's so true. Oftentimes we don't get instant results. It's not our time. We're working on his time and it's his will. It doesn't matter what we want and when we want it. None of that matters.
Yeah.
I always tell them I am a humble servant. I want to be that warrior,
Yes.
and I want the sword. I was talking to my brother. We had this amazing conversation. I was over at his house for dinner one day, about 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about when we come down with Jesus and we're going to be on horseback. I said, we're going to be his warriors. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to come down. I want to slay some people, or some demons, that's what
Yeah.
I want to do. I think that's why they come at me so hard and they hurt my feelings too.
Yeah.
But, Jammer Travels, how you doing today? Greetings from Pennsylvania, USA. Yeah, for sure. What do we got? Hurting people, hurt
Her
people.
people.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right, Mike. That is absolutely right.
True.
That's like with our daughter. So for those of you, I know a lot of you have seen it when we talked about our final installation, and that's where we laid most everything out. But y'all get the gist of it.
Yeah.
What we had to deal with this not so nice person. My heart. Now, it's been a while since I prayed for him, and it's been a while since I ached for him. But when we were going through all of that, and as badly as, I wanted something bad to happen to him, I cried for him
Hmm.
and I prayed for that young man, semi young man, um, so hard because I knew that there was, Holly gave me a little bit of backstory, and that's, it's geez Louise, it's been 9 years since that event happened. But I remember feeling my heart hurting for him because I knew that he had went through it. He was abused,
Hmm.
and the cycle didn't break. It didn't break. But yeah, I remember he hurting people, hurt people for sure. But anyway, we are home safe and cooking steaks for a late dinner. Are you cooking up some ribeye? I made T-bones today. That was yummy. Jammer Travel says he is now on the lion diet, beef, water, and salt. Huzzah. Let me tell you something. I did I don't like the diet. I don't like the lack of variety with lion, but I got to tell you, giving up the dairy, giving up the coffee, and eating only beef with an occasional, like at the event, I had chicken noodle soup, or I don't know why I always say the noodle, chicken soup.
Yeah.
And then the day before, I had to taste test it. So I had some chicken soup then. I guess, for me, in order for me to stay on track, I need a little variety on occasion. But for the most part, lion it is. And I'm sure if a chicken ran across the road, a lion would definitely eat that bad boy. There's no doubt.
Exactly.
Same with, same with some bacon. He sees a little piggy going across. He's hungry. He's going to eat. But I get it. I get it. What do we got here? Barbara Turner, Jammers. I'm on day 23. It's so easy. Yeah, Barbara, we were in group. You were talking about that you're going to finish up this week. That's the assumption I got. And Barbara said that she's starting to lose some of her hair from that, from Lion. And
There's
I've
another
oh no, go
shampoo. It's called Heritage, and if you have, it has castor oil in it. I've actually started using it, and I've been getting some hair back.
oh well, there you go, Barbara. It's Heritage. Is that the name of the company, or the
That's
name?
the name of the shampoo and conditioner. But look
Okay,
for castor oil.
okay. Well, then there you go. There you go. Maybe that'll help out a little bit. Hey, Gail, how you doing, Lioness? Ground beef September is going well. Still adding in eggs. There you go. There you go, Miss Gail. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Bypass Carnivore. Hiya, Cassie. Nice to meet you, MEAT, Joyce. Bypass. Somebody had a question in group asking about she has a friend. I don't know if you happen to see it, but she has a friend who is considering having gastric bypass, and I referred them to your channel. I
Yeah.
hope they find you and they don't do the bypass surgery and they find victory in
Yes.
carnivore.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. What does Mike have to say? When you are Sicilian, I'm a quarter. You feel like calling out your cousin. All right, I'm missing. Okay. I see that. I'm just. I saw Sicilian. I'm like, yeah, that we're gonna pop that bad boy up. But yeah, it's. I miss. We're out of that conversation. Here we go. We'll pull up this one though. He says, "I'm mad these days, but I did just snack on some butter. Oh my gosh, isn't it crazy when you're at a place in your journey?" And even though you're on a challenge, whether it's BBBE or Lion Diet, and you veer off plan with something like chicken, like for me, I had the chicken soup, and that feels like a cheat. You know you're doing good when you veer off plan with more meat and you consider that a cheat. It's like, oh, am I doing something wrong here? You're not. You're not at all. It's not like I'm going out and buying all the cake. And oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I could go,
Mm-mm.
I could take out some cake.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like there's no tomorrow. There you go. Shannon is also from Ocala. All the Florida people are in the house. There we
Yeah.
go. Hey, Barbara. I didn't mean to, but you're coming up anyway. It says, I love Cassie's interview. She's so compelling, draws us to her logical and practical with kindness. Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
Unless I'm hangry. Not logical. I'm completely irrational and I'm not very kind. Ask Larry. He gets the brunt of it. Yeah. Yep, there it is. My opinion is not to do it. That's exactly why I referred them to you because I know that's your stance. And, I mean, I I said, and this is true. And it took me a second. I'm like, that's right. When I was seeing my oncologist and talking about weight loss, because he wanted me to lose weight, but of course they wanted me to eat all the colors of the rainbow. And this is also coming from the man who said do chemo when you're cancer free. But yeah, he told me I was a perfect candidate for some type of a sleeve or gastric bypass surgery. He's retired now. I would love to run into him someday and say, hey, look at me, I'm doing
Yeah.
great.
Just eat meat.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? I mean, that's it. And eat as much as you can until you're full. I mean, how many other diets have we been on? And I use the word diet because food, water intake. I know a lot of other people view it as, a time frame or whatever. I don't view it that way in any way, shape, or form. So when I use the word diet, it's not just restriction or anything like that. It's your food and Jared, your food and water intake, whatever. And so yeah, that's exactly right. It's not like anything else. There's no fat restriction, there's no calorie restriction. I mean, you just have to restrict the garbage food. And that's, after a while it gets a lot easier. Fiddlesticks, thank you for swinging by. Appreciate it. And God bless you. You have a most wonderful Sunday here.
Yes.
Lioness, I hear Rosie.
I think that was my cat, Milo.
I was gonna say Rosie, no, she's kicked out. She would be jumping all over, clawing on my legs. And
Yeah. Yeah, Milo don't like that he can't come in.
yeah, exactly. They'll be all over. I had somebody a viewer who came to the event dropped by a gift for Rosie. And I'm
Aww.
gonna take some video of it. It's a little play toy, and Rosie's a very vocal kitty. She always has something to say. So I'm gonna get some video, and she'll actually be at Keto Palooza. So I will I'm gonna show her that video. And she's just so cute. She's getting so big. She's getting so big. How was your meetup? Oh, Diane, it was amazing. We got to meet
Amazing.
Joyce, and there were so many others. There's a few in here that were there. Connie, the lovely and beautiful Connie, she
Yeah.
was there as well, and looking gorgeous as usual. And Mr. Barry was there. And let's see if we have anybody else in here. Maritza, she was here. Oh, there's Mama P. I didn't see you earlier. Good evening. Hello, Mama P. Thank you, lovely. Thank you. Oh, I don't know who else. Sean was there. He's in here. Yeah, Maritza, she was there. And Sean, we had Carnivore Kip,
Yeah.
ground beef guy, backwoods carnivore,
Carnivore.
carnivore pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anyone?
He's new. I forget what his name is. Carnivore Vlog.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I know we took the picture. I didn't have much of an opportunity to talk with everybody. That's my regret is I spent so much time um preparing and making sure that everything and everybody was fed and the food
Yeah.
was going. That was the first time for little Larry cooking
Mhm.
for 60 people. So
Yeah.
I had to hop in there and get on the grill and yeah, that was quite something. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, next year I'm going to delegate tasks for other people so I can do more mingling because I
Yeah.
just want to make sure, that's the Italian in me. Hey, you got to make sure we got the food. Everybody's got to eat, and everybody's well taken care of.
Yeah.
But I would like, more of an opportunity to sit down and chit chat with everybody. But let's see.
I like Denise's. It says T-shirt. All I need is Jesus and BB and Peony.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. That could be one of your first. Are you going to sell them, Joyce? Are you thinking
Yeah.
about selling them?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Telling them. Yep.
Hey, forget about it. Oh, Peachy Pam says, I can't find Miss Joyce's channel. So we were talking about that because I remember I was looking for your channel
Mhm.
and I had a hard time with that as well. Typed it in the capitalized letters. I think Larry may have it linked up in the description. I am
Mhm.
going to have to find out for sure. If it's not at the moment, I will make sure that he links it. So then we don't have to worry about that because even like I remember when Intentional Carnivores started his channel,
Mhm.
it was just Sean White. Well, we looked up Sean White and the only person that popped up was the skier, the redhead or the snowboarder or whatever. Yeah, the Olympian. So he would pop up. So until there's a little traction, it's going to be
Yeah.
hard for people to find your channel. But we'll link it for sure, and
Yeah.
we shall see what we can do. Let's
Yeah.
see, Miss
People
Donahue.
find Joyce Myers and Kenneth Copeland.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Mrs. Terry says, I saw a tea the other day, forgiven and blessed, but kind of a mess. Yep, that's me. That's cute. Okay. Sorry. I can't help it, I'm one of those Italians.
Yeah.
I move around a lot, but okay. I know Larry's told me that before. So yeah, I'll stop moving. I can still do hand gestures though.
Yeah, I'm in my hands because I'm a hand talker.
Right? I don't know what I could do with myself if somebody taped my hands to the side and I had to have a conversation. I guess maybe I'd be doing a lot of head bobbing or something.
Yeah.
There's more expression with the hands, you
You
know?
know,
Oh my goodness.
you
So Larry will kill me if I don't mention this. So recently, hold on, let me find this. Yesterday, in fact, he put out a video and he spent a lot of time on it. I'm very proud of him. He did such a good job with this.
Much
And
good.
Larry, he's a master editor, but this is our most recent video. So if there's anybody in the chat and you've not seen it, if you would
Huh?
kindly give it a view, it's a lot of fun. And you're going to catch a little information. You might catch a video in there from us that you've not seen, something that might help you. There have been a few people in the comment section who've said, "Oh, I didn't know about this one," and they went back to it and they got some solid information. So if you would please give that a view if you've not seen it yet, I would appreciate it.
Can you dig it?
I thought he might like that one too. You're welcome, honey. That's my man. Uh-oh, us Cajuns are the same way. You need hands to talk, right? I mean, geez.
Yeah, got to.
Yeah. The moment an Italian is talking with their hands, then they hit the microphone. I know I've done that too. I've whacked it quite a few times. Oh my goodness. Y'all, does anybody have any questions for the lovely and beautiful Miss Joyce or anything that we'd like to talk about? Maritza says the event was wonderful. It really was so much fun. And
Was.
we were just talking about this for maybe next year, making it like a 2-day event. So we have it at a different type of campsite, or maybe we could even have it at a hotel. But I do like the outdoors. I like that setting. But something that has cabins available, and maybe we can just rent out the whole campground, and that way we can all have dinner, sit around the fire and just relax, and then wake up and then have breakfast the next morning, and then just go on walks or whatever. Maybe there will be a lodge or something, and we have access to a room, because really 6 hours or I mean, you and Ted, you guys were there a little bit early, and I'm so thankful for that, because you helped in such a way I would not have been prepared, and I got there at 8 o'clock. But it just wasn't enough time. It wasn't enough time to really talk with everybody. And especially, like, I was running around so much. Somebody says, you know what, charge more money next year and have it catered. I'm like, that's a pretty good idea. We could still make some things, maybe some people, we could do like a potluck, or even bring your own meat and cook it. We could do something like that too. But yeah, I've got, definitely the wheels are turning for sure with that, and we'll see what we can come up with. But I like that idea. Just do it over 2 days, and that way we have a full day, a whole evening. We go and have a nice sleep, and do that. What you got to say, Mike? It's a question. I was about 10 minutes late, but any other benefits for Joyce besides awesome weight loss? Miss Joyce, that's a question for you.
A lot more joy. I got, very little depression. Clarity. Like, I mean, growing up in a special ed class, you always, I was told not going to amount nothing. But I've had more confidence in myself as I've lost the weight.
And you know what? Those are huge benefits. Yeah. It's not about the scale. It's not. I mean, I think for a lot of us, that's how it started. I want to lose weight. And we never realized everything else that's going to come with that. I mean, the depression, you never really think, you think, okay, I'll just feel better because I look better, or I
Yeah.
can buy better clothes, or I can fit into a seat, an airplane seat without an
Yeah.
extender, or something like that. All the other benefits. And sometimes you get these non-scale victories, right? And you don't even
Yeah.
realize it until maybe even weeks or a month afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, hey, wait a second. That happened with Larry and I with ibuprofen. It was
Mm.
probably 6 to 8 weeks after we had had a really good run. We're like, wait, we haven't taken ibuprofen in
Yeah.
so long. And Larry, he was ridiculous with
Mm.
taking it. I'm like,
Oh,
he would
yeah.
take 4 to 6 at 200 milligrams a pop. Every 4 hours or so. He'd be taking
Wow.
up to 16 to 20 pills a day, and I would be so worried for him thinking, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing to your liver? What are you doing to your
Yeah.
system? Take the 2." And he never he wouldn't.
Yeah. See, that's another thing I keep on forgetting. I suffered with massive, massive migraines because of the sugar in the carbs. And I
Mhm.
didn't realize that's where the headaches were coming from. Because every time I do have pasta, my stomach hurts. I get horrible, horrible migraines. And I would, to the point where I have to put, cold or heat over my eyes. And now I don't suffer from the migraines anymore.
So how long do you think it was before you discovered that you no longer had the migraines? Did you notice it almost immediately, or was it just like one of those gradual things and, "Oh, aha, I just don't have them anymore?"
Well, what happened was, I was eating carnivore, and then we went out somewhere and I had pasta. And that night I had the worst migraine ever, to the point where I couldn't even lay down. My head was throbbing so bad. So I was like, well, the only difference was I had pasta
Mhm.
and my stomach hurt. So it's like I put two and two together, and I was
Yeah.
like, yep,
That was an aha moment for
that was
you, and it's
a
like,
very big
okay.
aha.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I
there
mean,
was a time in my life where it's like I had a headache every single day for about 9 months. I even went and did, an MRI, and they're like, no, you're fine.
right.
And so I wish I would have known then what I know now.
Yeah, right. I think a lot of us, have that feeling too. I mean, if I could, th- oftentimes you'll see, a meme on Facebook, what would you tell your younger self,
Yeah.
and every answer I always go to, eat meat. That's always my answer. It's like hindsight, now I know that I would steer clear of the sugar and all the
Yeah.
flour. And yeah, it was either pizza, pasta, Mexican food, Chinese food, and dessert. That was my diet.
Yeah.
And of course, sugar laden coffee
Yeah.
all day, especially pumpkin spice. Here's a question for you. Denise would like to know, what is your favorite carnivore meal?
Uh, I have to be very simple. I can't, because I'm pretty much just meat, because I can't do cheese because I break out. So I'm pretty much financially pork steaks and chicken. I just kind of, and then eggs and bacon. That's what I pretty much stick to, because it's like, if it's hard to make, I won't make it. I
I,
will.
I love pork steak. I love a pork steak. It's
Yeah.
so good.
And I just put a lot of butter on it, and
Hmm. Especially grilled.
yes,
I think you can grill any meat and make it better.
yeah. Mm.
Chicken thighs, to me, that's the
Oh,
best way to prepare it, is on the grill over open flame. It's just so much better.
yeah.
Mrs. Donahue says, my sister is in North Carolina, and I was thinking of trying to talk her into going with me next year. Awesome. I could spend a week with her, road trip together, but 2 days would be better. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much decided now. Now I just have to find a place and make it happen. And
Yeah.
yeah, definitely September, because this is the perfect time of year. The weather was amazing. You know, you're less likely to have rain, and the temperature is cooler for the most part. Although my first year down here, I came during a drought, and it was 90 degrees on October 1st. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to survive this heat and this humidity. I can't do it. But, you know, that was typical weather. But even if it's 90, I guess then we go swimming, right?
Yeah.
What does Becky have to say? Becky says, I'm a special ed teacher and I'm so sorry that happened to you. I protect my kids from that. There are still adults who do that. There are adults who act worse than toddlers nowadays, you know? Well, thank you for your hard work, Becky, because we know that that's not an easy job to have, I'm sure, especially in this day and age. And you probably have a class full too, you know, and sadly, I think a lot of it too has to do with food. You know, there's the autism spectrum. It's just there's so many when there really wasn't that many. And food, yeah, I really think the food is affecting our children's development these days, and it's just really sad. But God bless you, and thank you so much. There we go. Mike's happy for you. He goes, "Yay, that's huge." Heck yeah. I can't barely function with a headache. It's awful. And I never suffered from migraines, although I do believe I had one time because I was very sensitive to light and I was nauseated. And I'll tell you, it was the worst thing in the world. I'm like thinking, how could people live life like this? That had to have been awful. Every day for like nine months. Oh my gosh.
I couldn't sleep. I was, sleep deprived.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Misery.
Yeah.
That's what that is. What's up, Sean? Sean has to say, I am on my 7th week and I'm taking Element, but I still crave dill pickles. Well, if that's the worst of your craving, that's not too bad. There are a lot of carnivores or meat-based, whatever you want to call it. It's such a crazy term anymore. I mean, that is, I don't even know what to call it. I mean, to me, carnivore is meat and salt. You know, and anything else other than that is meat based. But you know, there'll be people who will fight me with that, and that's fine. But
I call it my body diet. What does my body need? Can you do pickles and you're fine?
So you know, and one thing with that too. Now I don't know if pickles are just something that you say you still crave them. Is it something that you truly enjoyed? Were you a person that would go to a convenience store and you would opt for the pickle instead of a candy bar? Or, you know, if you're craving pickles, maybe there's something to it that your body needs. Maybe it, like you said, it's with the element. Maybe you need more electrolytes, because I know a lot of people will drink pickle juice in place of electrolytes. So there might be something to that. Let's see. What's up, Mike? How are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Carnivore Dog Setter Becky says, hi, Diane. She's saying hello. Well, hi, how are you? Let's see. Barbara. I am with you on that, Mama, 100%. But I feel so much better. She says, I don't like the lion diet. I need more variety. I made a commitment to do it for September. And, you know, I'm so proud of you. Like I said, I veered a little bit, and I've had my eggs. A handful of times I had bacon, and I had some chicken soup, which I miss so much. When I made it, I'm like, there is no way I'm going to get past this day.
That is delicious.
I can't. And I'm really proud of you for that. And lion diet's huge. And I think sometimes if you need to veer off, and when I mean veer, cheap, however you want to word it, if like having the chicken soup or having some bacon, you know, on occasion, which is going to keep you on that path over the long run, that's okay. That's okay. All right. We got a question.
Okay.
It says, my Sicilian grandma taught me the family sauce. It is amazing. Obviously, not going to put that on the pasta, But do you put yours on a steak occasionally or cut it out? No, it has to go. I haven't had pasta sauce and I couldn't tell you how long. And my dad was the one who basically taught me how to make sauce, and then I just started making my own. But being that they were financially financially challenged. So I'm not sure if you know about this. Malika, do you know what that is, Mike? For those of you who don't, it's a topping that goes on over your sauce or gravy, and it's made with breadcrumbs. Most saute it in olive oil or butter. I always liked it with butter, and then sugar. So that was a topping. So we're putting sugar with the sugar gravy and then more sugar on top. So you got sugar on your pasta, and and then I would make garlic bread. So there's more sugar.
For
And,
sure.
yeah, sugar, and all the sugar. But no, I have to steer clear because there's sugar in the tomatoes. And even if you put it in your sauce, I would either use carrots or sweet potatoes to sweeten up the sauce. But yeah, no, I don't do that. And yeah, I miss it. I do. I miss pasta sauce, and I don't know how it would affect me right now. I can't imagine it would be very good for me. I think I would have a hard time. Well, hello, Westfield. How are you today? It says, is seafood like tuna okay on the carnivore diet? Heck, yes, it is. Eat your seafood. Eat that
Yes.
seafood. It's good for you. I don't eat enough of it. I don't know about you.
No, not much. I
No.
used to.
Yeah, I used to have shrimp all the time. And, I've never been much of a fish person. Certain fish, and it has to be like deep fried. So of course battered and deep fried in some type of garbage sauce, or garbage not sauce, lard or something like that. But yeah, seafood, absolutely. Crab legs are good. Shrimp is always good.
Yes.
It's just a matter of, I mean, it's still going to be better than your standard American diet. Just try and find a good source. If you can, catch it yourself. If you have access to a lake or a stream or something like that. But, there's so many farm raised fish,
Yeah.
and it's just that the conditions aren't good. And even when they say wild caught and fresh fish, because, for those of you who don't know, I did work in a butcher shop, and we would get salmon, and you would think that it was really good salmon. So it was, and mind you, folks, it is becoming more and more difficult to find wild caught. The fish has to be farmed in a sense. So we used to get this Faroe Island. Okay, it was North Atlantic near Sweden and Scotland. So it is in cold water, and they raised them in pens in the ocean. So their diet was wild, but they still had to, keep them in a particular area. I don't know if it was easier for them to access, or a lot of it, they block off these rivers too, so they can keep the natural order of things going. I guess natural, if you want to say. But I'm telling you, more and more these days, that seafood, it's not wild caught. And anyway, with that being said, so it wasn't fresh, because they had to catch it and then process it and then put it on a boat to ship it and then process it again. It's vacuum sealed, so it has a longer shelf life, but that fresh isn't fresh like they claim it to be.
Yeah.
Element should make a pickle flavor. So I wonder if Sean just likes Element. I said Element should make a pumpkin spice flavor. Oh my gosh, that could be a bad thing. Bad thing. Uh-oh, bypass carnivore. If you're craving pickles, maybe your wife is pregnant. Now that was never nothing. It was Whoppers with my daughter and milk with little Larry. I drank, I swear, 3/4 to 1 full gallon of milk every day when I was pregnant with that boy. It was insane. Well, hello, Miss Sammy. Says hello, all you fine humans. Person turquoise waving. Sammy tuning in from Nevada, late, but will catch us on the replay. I hope you're having a great day. There you go. Dog sitter Becky says, "Hey, Sammy. What do we got? I need more shrimp. One of my favorites. Getting my fishing license soon. Yeah, like you could. What is it like? I want to say May. I'm not sure where you're located, Mike, but like in Beaufort County, down on the coast, it's like May through June is the best time to catch shrimp. So yeah, go to the coast. Make a trip. Make it a time for that. And then you can always vacuum seal it and freeze it from there.
If you're from Ocala, there's a guy is 2J Seafood. His name is John. He has boats in the Gulf and he gets fresh seafood all the time.
Yeah. That's the way to go. Now, growing up, I mean, we were about 4 miles off Lake Michigan. So my dad, we had a boat and he always brought home fresh lake perch. He'd go fishing in Lake Erie and there was always fresh walleye. That's a milder flavored fish. And I always enjoyed that, but yeah, what do we got here? Barry says, "Oh, I used to make fish and shrimp for Joyce and myself."
Yeah. Oh, he was an awesome cook.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was too. And I found that, you add all those extra flavors, you end up eating more, right? I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, you can do carnivore and you can still gain weight.
Yeah.
There is a limit. You do have to limit yourself some way, You can overeat and it could be dangerous. Mike Shaw says, "I grew up in Oregon, so I spent a lot of time trout fishing." Trout. That is one fish I have not had. Not at all. Sammy says, "I crave bacon, eggs, and oranges, all 3 pregnancies. The last one was 3 musketeers as well. So bad." Yeah. Oh, those cravings. They were rotten. But any other questions for Joyce or myself? We're gonna wrap it up here. And if you have anything else that you'd like to add or just to make a comment or have a question for either one of us, now would be an amazing time. If not, we're gonna wrap things up. And since the older I get, earlier I go to bed now. That's a fact. I'll tell you, 10 o'clock is right around the corner. That's less than 2 hours away, and this girl is about out. Rock lobster for me, abalone, and sea urchins. I'm a big fan of scallops. Now, I never had sea urchins. Abalone, if I'm pronouncing that properly, I obviously never had that. Is that a type of tuna? I don't know. Rock lobster? Nope. I not that I've been aware of. Marnie Mac. Miss Marnie Mac, all dressed in black. I hope you're having a great day. How about go Seahawks? Are they winning? I don't know. Is that one guy, Russell Wilson, is he still your quarterback? Because I don't know anything about football nowadays. Ever since moving away from Chicago, I know a little bit about college football down here. It's all Clemson Tigers or the Gamecocks, USC Gamecocks. But again, here is Joyce's channel if you're looking for it. I think Larry linked it. If not, I will have him on that now, honey. I don't know if you can still hear me, if you're out there. But yeah, that would be awesome if you could do that now. If not, then we will get on it and you folks can find her channel there. Oh, Pula. Evening. I agree. I am not flavoring and seasoning too much. I don't want it to taste too good, right? I mean, of course we want food to taste good. I mean, we have taste buds for more than just detecting whether it's fresh or if it's bad food. I mean, there is enjoyment there, but until we learn how to moderate and beat this food addiction.
Yes.
I think it's just we have to abstain. So it's just salt.
Yeah,
Salt
I do
for sure.
salt and then a little bit of garlic. but
Yeah.
garlic powder or minced garlic. That's pretty much my seasoning.
Yeah, when when I make the chuck roast, a lot of times I'll throw garlic in there. You throw some garlic and rosemary, and that elevates the flavor even more. Because sometimes, I mean, we have to be realistic too. I mean, otherwise the diet for a lot of us, this girl especially, salt is just not enough.
Yeah,
Salt is just not
yeah,
enough for me, and all too often I need a little something extra.
yeah,
Otherwise, I'm going to get bored, and I certainly don't want to go off the rails. I'm having a great run, so
yes,
we've come too far, and it's just too easy
yeah,
to go down that slippery slope. So sometimes, you just got to tweak it a little bit to make it sustainable, make it to where you are on track and you're doing well. So let's see. Yeah, Barbara, like I said, we're going to link it. Okay. We will have it in the description. So if it isn't in there now, check that. You can check the description now. If somebody, well, I could do that. I was going to say, if somebody wouldn't mind doing that, see if Larry did, in fact, link it up. Let me see. And if you haven't, give us a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that.
yes.
Let's see. I'm going to check. Oh, yeah. No, well, it says it has your channel name. Let's see. I don't see a link yet, but we'll get that in there for you, Joyce.
Okay, thank you.
It has your channel name on there, but yeah. Faith to Victory. Yeah, like I said, that one time I had a difficult time finding it. And so yeah, let's see. All right, well, let's take this one last comment. Oh, Luz, come on, lady. Where were you? How are you? Happy Sunday. We're getting ready to wrap it up. Now it's gonna be really hard for me to get off. Dr. Chafee spoke about how spices were originally used to cover tainted food before refrigeration. That is highly possible. Yeah, I think so. Maybe, but it also makes things taste really good too. Depending on the spice, there are things that you have to be careful of, especially for me. Like I learned this past year that hot sauce, as good as it may taste, it tastes good going down. But yeah, I'm just definitely I have to steer clear of that. But yeah, there are certain things. Lori, what you got to say? You and Larry look incredible. My husband John and yes, yes. Hello. I sent you an email. I hope you got it. So this is really cool. Lori and her husband John, they sold their house and they're living the dream and they bought a catamaran and they've just been, I think the last year they've been living on this catamaran on the Atlantic, and they're that's so cool, a houseboat, and that
Wow.
would be really cool. Yeah, I would love that. I told him I would love to have an RV. I would love to live in an RV for a while. I could give all this up. Larry doesn't think that I can because I like to pick up things and hold on to things that I absolutely do not need. But yeah, I would love to do that, and I would love to live in a houseboat. So those are some dreams. I'd like to travel the country. Maybe take a year or two and just have. It doesn't have to be a huge RV, and maybe do like a houseboat for a little while. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I kind of like where we're at, and I also like I would also like not having neighbors. I think if you hit up an RV, you're in an RV park a lot, and it's not always as glamorous as the RV life make it seem. A lot of people have come out about that recently and said, no, you're living in a Walmart parking lot because you can't always find a spot in these RV parks, and then you always have a neighbor there too. But yeah, we were invited there. Oh, we were always welcome. Well, 3 bedrooms, hot dog, and 2 beds. That's very cool. That is so cool. Yeah, houseboat does sound cool, doesn't it? Yeah, there are people like I remember I wanted to move to Seattle a few years before we even thought about. Well, we never thought about coming to South Carolina. That's when God intervened. Because the heat and the humidity, I visited down here so many times. My brother lives down here, and it was just, oh, there you go, Mike. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Isn't that sweet? There you go. There's the link, folks. You're the best, Mike. But yeah, there was no way in heck I was moving down to South Carolina. I wanted to move to Seattle, and I did want to stay on a houseboat for a while. And God's like, no, that's not happening. You're not going out there because Larry and I, we were in the casino business, and they have a lot of card houses out there where you keep your own tips. And like, I know I could make a lot more money than what I am because where we were at, we had to share tips. So if you had a grumpy dealer before you and you tap them out for them to go on break, and then all of a sudden everybody's having a good time because you're just having a nice conversation with people and they're winning with you and they're tipping you. Well, on the same note, they're complaining about the dealer ahead of time because they just had a frown and they were silent. I thought, dog, I need to go somewhere else then. But God delivered me from that too. But even though I do miss it a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, I hear you, Pula. No boat for me. And feet need to be on the ground of the water. I don't think Larry would want to live on a boat either. I think he would enjoy staying on one for a short time, but Bypass Carnivore seems to think that sounds great. I'm always down for adventure. I am.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But okay, y'all. We're gonna call it a night here. So Joyce, thank you so much for hanging out with us and
You're so welcome.
taking some questions and telling us a little bit about yourself. And let me pull that up again, y'all. We will still throw that in the description, but you can find her Joyce's channel right here, right now. Go over there, give her a subscription, especially for all the other cricketers out there. She'll sit there and have a wonderful conversation, throw some inspirational quotes out there while she makes an amazing amazing designs. Wait, that's not what I meant to pull. There was that. Yeah. Okay, Christine, you do know that wasn't me, right? That was not me. Larry just thinks it's hilarious, and anytime we say that I slipped, that's that's what he throws out there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No, I grew up on a boat. I got so good I could even slalom ski for a minute there, but no, I'm too old and too big for that now. But anyway, y'all, thanks for hanging out with us this Sunday evening. Again, thank you, Joyce. Joyce, if you would like to lead us out, and if there's anything else that you want to say, you want to plug a video that's coming up or a video that you really like and that one that just stuck out to you that you really want people to see, will you do so now?
My favorite ones are the ones that I find an inspirational song, and of course I can't play it, but I just read it out. And my favorite one of that is by Mercy Me, Say I Won't. And it's like, it just says, say I won't start a new business. Say I won't start a YouTube channel. Say I won't lose this weight. Because I am, and I'm going to keep on going. I was on a stall for a while, or I kind of still am. But when I found you and Larry, I gave up. I was at the point of giving up. I wasn't even going to watch on keto no more. I was like, I can't. I gained some weight back, and so I was so discouraged. And then I found you and Larry, and I said, okay, I can do this. If they can do this and they've fallen and they got back up and fallen and got back up, so can I. So say I won't lose this weight. Even though I'm on a stall right now, I'm going to just keep on going and keep on plugging. And if you're on a stall, I encourage you to do the same. Just keep on going and don't give up.
That's right. That's right. Just keep going. And you know what? It was something that I did not know about Kelly Hogan. It took her 4 years. Oh, wow. 4 years for her to get from point A to where she is, her weight now, and to maintain it. 4 years. So I just learned that like it was last week or the week before, and I thought, okay, because I've been in the 190s for the better part of a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what I'm doing wrong, but it's like, am I, other than health? Okay, let's just forget that. For weight, is it really wrong? I mean, for my health, we know that I need to tighten things up, but was it really wrong? Was I no, because maybe drinking all that coffee and cream is what kept me on track. It
Mm-hmm.
may have kept me from losing weight, but it kept me on track. It kept me from going back to sad. So, you know, not everybody's going to lose the weight in one run. Not
Yeah.
everybody's going to lose it. I mean, I'd have to say a solid 90% of us aren't
Yeah.
going to do that way. There's a very small amount that are going to get it immediately. And, you know, okay, Joyce, if you're okay, I can't leave now. I can't leave with
Oh,
this, Lynn. I
yeah.
just saw this, and I'm so sorry, Lynn. I'm sorry you're having a hard day, and I just, we were just getting ready to get off. We can't do that now.
No, we
Um,
can't.
I'll definitely be praying for you. I always pray for my community. Larry and I, we always do, and every day. And I will definitely be saying an extra prayer. I'm really sorry. I couldn't imagine that kind of loss. Larry and I, we've dealt with some horrific loss, and as you have, Joyce.
Yes.
Um, but I couldn't imagine that. I don't know how old your son was or what the circumstances were, but that's from any parent who has lost a child. They say that yeah, lose, all about that. Um, that's just the most terrible pain you can ever experience.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying that I came close or anything like that, but I do remember when Holly was going through her ordeal, and I was worried that this guy was going to kill her,
Yeah.
literally pacing the floor. And I was an absolute nervous wreck. And of course, you always, I do anyway, always think the worst.
Yeah.
And I was afraid I was going to lose her and have to deal with her funeral. And, we'll be praying for you.
Yes,
And
most
I hope
definitely.
the pain definitely gets a little easier for you. And
Yeah.
well, okay, see, I don't know, Pamela. You know that too. It's been
It
18 years, and no, it never gets easy. So
never gets easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you went through several miscarriages, and to have that hope,
Yeah.
that you're going to have this little bundle of joy, and for it to be ripped away
Right.
from you, that'd be more than once, more than twice,
Yeah.
5 times.
Well, we did in vitro. So we conceived five, and so we did it 2 times. And both of them were just horrible, horrible miscarriages. The pain was horrible. So
Yeah, I would have to imagine that. That's I'm sorry. Yeah. So you all know, and that's one thing I really love about this community, because we are more than just carnivores. We're
mhm.
human, and we all have a story. We
Yeah.
all have victories. We all have struggles,
Yeah.
and it's more than just rah rah. You did it. Keep eating your steak, and that is to me kind of like where we're not transitioning. I mean, that's just what I'm feeling, that we're
Mhm.
more than that. And I don't want to just talk about me. I want to talk about real problems, and we're a community, and it needs to be more than just that, because if we think about it, that's where a lot of this, our food addiction stems from, is that loss and that pain, because you're eating your emotions away, thinking,
Yeah.
it's going to help you. It helps your mouth. I mean,
Yeah.
you get a quick eye roll, and it doesn't though. It ends up making the problem worse,
Worse.
and you're more depressed. And so yeah, well, I'm so sorry, y'all. I love you, and like I said, I do pray for you. And yeah, what you got to say, Terry? Says Lynn, my prayers are with you. See, there we go. If we don't talk about these things, you
Yeah.
can't have people pray for you.
Yeah.
So you need to talk about more than me. Says, I
Yeah.
just can't imagine. I'm glad you had the opportunity to be his mom for the time that you had. I'm sure it never gets easier. Yeah.
Never gets easier.
Yeah. Praying for every that's hurting. There's a lot of pain in this world. A lot of times, we just put on that smile, you
Yeah,
know, just you fake it till you make it, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't always have a good day. And, I can be positive and all that, but
yeah,
I don't always feel positive.
yeah.
You know,
There's a saying that I have is faith it till you make it. Because sometimes, when you're fake, it's like that's when I noticed my depression was even worse because it's like, oh, I have to fake this. But as I grow in my faith, that's when it got easier because I threw my faith away after I lost the babies because I'm like, oh, God made me lose these babies, and I was mad at the world. But when I found my faith again and started growing in it, that's when I started seeing the victories, and that's why I call it faith to victory, because as I grow in my faith, I'll have the victories. Now, is things going to happen to me? Yes, we lost the babies and all this, but through my faith, He's helped me through it all,
even when you didn't think he was there.
even when I didn't think He was there.
That's the time when you look back, and that's what I said. You take what you need and you leave the rest, because you know even when I wasn't there with him,
Yeah,
and I look back, like with Larry's mother, right?
yeah,
Um, we weren't. Even though I had a Christian background, I was raised Lutheran. Never practiced. We'd only go on Sundays. We'd go to church on Sundays. I went to my confirmation class until 8th grade. I got confirmed. That was it.
yeah,
So even though the foundation was there, it really wasn't. I never paid attention. I never opened my Bible. And I did seek him though, throughout times in my life. But during the time when we dealt with the madman, with his mother, and then her murder, we were blasphemous fools and we partied, and he was there. And his plan was in place, and I didn't see it for like 11, 12 years. Larry, he was an alcoholic for a long time. It was 12 years, even though he's like, oh, it was 11. No, it was 12 years. And I didn't see it. And I did go to church one or two. There was one time I had about a 2-year stint where I went to church, and I found out that they were crooks and they were fake. So
yeah.
that kind of, pumped the brakes. But anyway, I tend to ramble, and I'm sorry when I do that. I make a very short story long. But he was always there.
He's always
He
there.
was there when I didn't want him, when I thought I could do it on my own. He was always there. And so even when we feel at our lowest and we don't feel his presence, he is there. And sometimes it takes time to get through all the muck.
Yeah,
And then you sit back and you think about things and you're like, oh yeah, he was there. Whether you were blocking it or whether he just didn't want to reveal himself to you at that point in time,
yeah.
he's always
Oh,
always there. No matter how depressing things seem, no matter how hopeless things seem, yeah, he's always there.
yeah,
And that gives me comfort even when I feel down. It's like I
yeah.
know he's there, and I have to self-talk myself. I do like that expression, faith it till
Fake
you
it till you make it.
and I always say that, fake it till you make it. Like, again, going back to Larry, when we were in the casino business, right? I mean, that was something that I had to do. I had to put a smile on my face,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to sometimes be, cheery and whatnot, but faith it till you make it. That's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah,
That could be your new slogan.
yeah.
I dig that a lot.
No,
Faith
I
it.
do. I didn't think about that being a slogan because I've been thinking, what can I do for a slogan? That's it.
There you go. And
Thank
even
you.
after you make it, you still faith it.
Yeah, yeah.
Faith it till you make it, and then faith
Yeah.
some more.
It doesn't matter, because we're always going to have trials and tribulations. So
Always.
you faith it till you make it in one area. Then, this is coming up. Okay, let's faith it till you make it.
Absolutely. I love that so much. I hope, Lynn, I hope you got something from that, and same with you, Luz. And
Praying for you.
we will be praying for you, and yeah, definitely t-shirtable.
Yeah.
Barry says he is there everywhere you look. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So, Gail, I don't know what you got going on. Want to be ready for my Dave Mack interview? Oh, you got Dave Mack. You're big time now, lady. CIRS lioness. She's gonna be out. She's out and about then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we love you guys, and just know that you got people praying for you,
Yes.
and really appreciate you sharing that. And God says don't conceal your troubles. You confess your troubles to one another.
Yeah.
That way we can pray for you. And even though you may not feel it and feel he's there and you cannot make sense of it, he will somehow make sense of things, and you just have to ride out the storm, for whatever it is. And oftentimes I would think, I don't know what his plan is for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just to put a smile on one person's face.
Yes.
And if that's all that it is, that's all that it is. But, yeah. Good night, Miss Connie. I love you, lady. And we're going to get in touch, and we need to get our ladies walking again. I miss y'all so much, and I need it. And I think we all need it. We need to get together. But, yeah. He's there. He's always steadfast, and he's amazing. And there's your way maker, right? Promise keeper, miracle worker. I love it.
Light in the darkness.
That's right. That's the one I couldn't remember. Light in the darkness. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I was almost rapping to that song too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right, Barry. Even just one person is worth it.
Yes.
And, it's very true, very true. But I think, especially with you, Joyce, it's going to be more than that, and we will be in touch about getting it to where you are more visible, and now a little more people know about you.
Yes.
Getting your descriptions right and getting those hashtags in there, because I would have had no idea, right?
Yeah.
That's Larry. He is the tech wizard. Like I said, if it weren't for Larry, we wouldn't be doing this live stream right now.
So thank you, Larry.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, we're going to sign off here, y'all, and we'll be praying for you. And I just thank you all, and thank you, Jesus, for this day. And so thank you so much. And I'm going to sign us off with you know what it is, and this is our closing slogan. Ours, I'm going to say, faith it till you make it, but no sugar, no carbs, no cheating. And until the next time, y'all have a most wonderful week. And I love you, and thanks for stopping by. And again, Miss Joyce, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Good night, all.